I want to make a short video today. This is BB from clutterclearinglifecoaching.com, and I'm going to make a short video today regarding barriers, internal barriers, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, psychological barriers to being successful, to being a better you, the you that you know that you're capable of, the you that you know you deserve to be because you've got it in you. As Les Brown says, you've got greatness within you, and you do. You're here for a reason, you're here for a purpose, and that is to be great. That is to live your life out loud and proud. Be who you are in a magnificent way. Yes, no matter what that entails. It could be picking up the garbage from the street. If this is something you feel is worthwhile doing and you choose to do it in a great way. Also, if it's not where you want to be for the rest of your life, do it in a great way right now until something better comes along. It's like whatever space you're given, and that goes for me as well, whatever space you're given right now, you allow yourself to have in life, whatever space you occupy, whether mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, be the best that you can be in that space. Be as open as you can be in that space. Always self-evaluate yourself. Am I giving enough? Am I loving enough? Am I giving enough to me? Am I loving enough to me? Am I kind enough to me and then to others? When you look at yourself, you see barriers sometimes. If you're stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in, you've been trying to get out of for a time, you see barriers. And if it's not a situation that's being imposed on you by you, then of course you take the appropriate actions of getting help from law enforcement. But I'm speaking more of internal barriers that's keeping you back, holding you back. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being disappointed. It all comes down to these fears that are boiling inside of us. Like this coil of serpents. This coil of serpents inside. And you need to shed them. You need to shed them. Some people want to shed them one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And some people want to just pick them up in a lump because they don't have time for the shedding one at a time. They want to go. Some people are more spiritual in nature. They want to every single one, just rip them out one at a time until they're free. And some people just are more embedded in physical. They're more mental, not so much feeling wise. They just put them in a lump sum because they just want to move on. They're like, let's get rid of this and let's move on. So, what are some of these barriers that you carry? Barriers to your own self. In how many ways are you holding yourself back? Do you know what the barriers are? Do you know what's the underlying belief system that is creating the barrier to taking an action or moving forward in one direction that you really, really want to go in, but there's an internal barrier? It feels like, you'll feel like a clutching in your chest sometimes. You'll feel a sense of dread when you think of taking action. You'll feel a sense of, I used to feel it so bad where I want to pass out. I used to see different colors. I was so nervous. Like I would just pass out with anxiety. But then I got the courage to do what I needed to do, and it was nothing. It turned out to be great. So, not all of us are that fortunate. Because I have a habit where I will feel something I want to do, and then I'll get 1,000 reasons why I shouldn't or wouldn't do it, or tell myself all kinds of fibs, believe my own hype, appropriate action. And then I would go around in circles and circles until I just say, you know what, enough, and then push right through. That's how I do it. I do mine raw. But I've learned a better way, and this is through EFT, or the Sedona method, which is a method of releasing, of bringing that subconscious fear to the surface, looking it in the eyeball, and be done with it. Because at the end, at the other side of the barrier is what you want. Whether it's getting the thing that you want or a lifetime of experience. Something that you can know that you've already done this. You can move on to bigger and better. You don't have that fear holding you back anymore. You have conquered this fear, this thing, this barrier, whatever it may be. Whatever barrier you're experiencing right now, whether it's wanting to move, I guess, wanting to get a promotion, you're afraid to talk to the boss, whether it's an internal barrier that you feel like maybe you've tried to quit smoking quite a few times and then you end up smoking again because you're in a circle of friends who smoke. And you're just like, let me get a drag or whatever they call it, and then you end up smoking again. So you feel, it'll never happen. The thing with that, it takes willpower. With releasing, it's almost effortless. Because releasing makes you face the problem internally. And you will be surprised to find that there's always a reason why you have these barriers. And it's not what you think. This is belief beyond what you consciously think is the problem. There's more to it than that. The underlying problem may not be what you're thinking. It may not be what you're thinking. When I decided to work online, spiritual website as well. When I decided to work online, biggest fear was working from home. Why do I get to work from home? Why do I get to make it so easy for me when there's people who have to get up and go to work? Where did that come from? I never knew I saw life that way or saw myself that way. But it was a fear that I had to work through and get over. And I surprised myself because it came up clearly. It's the beauty thing about releasing is when you're releasing, if you want to release on finances and allowing more money or more opportunity or more ways to bring money or make money or have money come to you to grow your income, multiple sources of income, whatever it might be, you're releasing on everything else. Because when you release, you release. It's not selective releasing. There's no such thing as selective releasing. When you release on everything. But we deal with what's more in the forefront of your mind, what's like a more pressing situation, what's like a more pressing need, or the biggest barrier you have. So let's do a short tapping round on internal barriers. And this can be to anything. Internal barriers to anything. So let's start on the karate chop. Even though I have this barrier, and it's really bugging me, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have this barrier, I'm trying really hard to move past it, but I keep holding myself in place. I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I seem to have a barrier towards this thing, name the thing, and I hate the barrier. But the more I seem to hate the barrier, the stronger the barrier becomes, because I'm giving it all a lot of negative energy. Choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. This barrier, this barrier, this barrier, whatever this barrier is, it's making me feel I shouldn't do something I really want to do. It's coming up with excuses I never knew I was capable of. all these barriers, all these barriers, all these barriers, all these barriers, or this barrier, if you know what it is as you're tapping. All these barriers, all of them seem to have an opinion of their own. They seem to have a mind of their own, but they're impeding my growth. They're impeding me from taking appropriate actions. They're holding me back. So I have to make a decision. Sorry, I'm going too fast. It's either I hang on to the barriers and I never get from point A to point B, or I just break through the barriers and set myself free. Moving past barriers is not easy, but I know now what I need to do. Understand the releasing of negative energy. I understand the releasing of what is not wanted in my energy that is keeping me stuck, that is filling me with negative thoughts and doubts. Well, they're not mine and they don't belong with me. So it's a pleasure to release these barriers. Drink some water. At this point, take a deep breath. And figure out what your barriers are to whatever you're looking to accomplish or whatever you're hoping to accomplish. Whether it's a state of being, a better, more peace, more calm, or something physical that you're hoping to accomplish in your life. Barriers were meant to be broken. Like, I love Les Brown. And Les Brown talked about the 4-minute mile. He said nobody could run a mile in 4 minutes or in under 4 minutes. And nobody could until somebody named Roger Bannister actually did it. He showed that it's possible. School kids are doing it and it's true. Prior to then, nobody, because they said it couldn't be done. The point of the story is that the belief system, the general consensus was it couldn't be done until somebody defied those odds and actually did it. Now everybody is doing it who are really serious about running and jogging. It's like a personal challenge, I guess, to them. Why? Because they know it's possible. Consciousness, that awareness is changed. What are you saying it cannot be done? He did it. I'm going to try to do it. And it starts off a chain of positivity, a chain of good things, a chain of just things that makes people happy. Breaking barriers makes people happy. Always remember that. Breaking internal barriers leads to happiness. Keep that in mind when you release. Until next time, peace.